This message is from Kitty Doherty. Dear Ryan, I study massage in Greece and I have been using many of your online classes and tests. Many of the techniques and stretching that you have shown appears to be very similar to what a physical therapist does, at least here in my country, more so than what a massage therapist would do. Can you tell me what the basic difference are between a physical therapist and massage therapist? Yes, I know that this may differ from country to country, but it would also help if I had a basic idea because already many people have asked me what the difference is, and I would like to know a professional answer ready for the next time somebody asks. Sincerely, Kitty. Well, here in the United States, sometimes massage therapists will use the same techniques as physical therapists, but physical therapists are a lot more trained, of course, in rehabilitation. So they're like strength building and getting people to walk again, those kind of things. Massage therapists typically don't get into that realm. I mean, they'll do some stretching. The big kind of stretching out there now is called active isolated stretching. So it's by Aaron Matz. But with active isolated stretching, it's like a 2 second stretch, but the person's doing a lot of the work, and then a second and a half or so relaxation, then 2 seconds a little bit farther. So it's kind of like a quick PNF if you want to look at it that way. But the totally opposite, so you're not feeling any resistance. But again, with my kind of techniques, I myself honestly make up some of those. Some of those I've never seen before. It just seems natural to do those kind of stretching. So if the body can move in that way, I try to move it, put the position as much as possible. But again, physical therapists here in America, it's like a master's plus. They need to order to practice here because the standards keep getting higher and higher. I know back in the 90s, or it might have been even in the 80s, there were kind of a shortage of physical therapists. But then once more physical therapists came over from other countries, there wasn't as many jobs, so then they kind of upped the standards. But again, there's almost like a doctorate of physical therapy. So don't quote me on this, but again, it's like a master's basically plus for education as a physical therapist. But you need a lot more training, of course, to get in that area. But for a massage therapist here in America, it's typically a diploma or associate degree. So there's really not any um, bachelor degree programs for massage. Sometimes they might incorporate other things, and it's not just massage for a bachelor's. But I know in Canada, in certain parts of Canada, you need over 2,000 hours in some areas. So it's almost like a bachelor's degree if you want to look at it that way. So it's a lot more hours to be a massage therapist in some parts of Canada. So again, not all parts, but some parts of that. But again, in Minnesota, where I live, there's actually no rules and regulations. Every single city is different. So we're one of the few left that there is no rules and regulations, but we just have to contact our city hall and see what the rules and regulations are for that. But again, in general, most people at least get a diploma, and that diplomas can range from 500 to like even up to 1,000 hours of actual schooling. And associate degree, what my college offers with that, it's basically the massage program plus a lot of liberal arts and some business classes mixed in there too. So I think it's basically a 2 year degree, but most massage therapists are they just have a diploma, or a lot of them typically will have another degree, and sometimes massage is their secondary career then. But again, massage therapists can perform a lot of stretching. We can perform the PNF in those different areas, and just a lot of the same things as physical therapists. But again, massage therapists are not trained to strength build and those areas. So resistance kind of things. I mean, we can kind of get into that, but again, building strength, that's the main goal with physical therapy. So they'll give you stretching exercises to do at home or strength building exercises. So especially after somebody's had a stroke, that's when a physical therapist would get into there as soon as possible. And then there's an occupational therapist too, but they work more with dexterity with the hands and stuff. But physical therapists work a lot more with like the gait, with walking. But that's a big difference if you want to look at it that way. But again, we can typically both use the same kind of techniques in a way, but we're just not trained to strength build. But a physical therapist, if you want to look at it, they're kind of like a personal trainer, kind of like an athletic trainer, kind of like a little bit of a massage therapist, little They're a little bit of everything, but again, they're a lot more schooling, and they get paid pretty well in the United States too, what I've heard. But again, every place in the United States might not pay the best with that, but my understanding is, but jobs are kind of hard to come by for physical therapy. The major openings, what I've heard for physical therapy is like nursing home areas, but hospitals, it all depends too, but sometimes it's a little bit harder to get into those areas. And they even have physical therapy assistants in some parts of the country, and they might even have all, but I'm not sure of all over the United States. But a physical therapy assistant, don't quote me on this either, but I'm pretty sure, last I've looked, it's like a 2-year degree, associate's degree, but they basically help out the physical therapist, so they'll help with some exercises and stuff, but the physical therapist will tell them what to do, and then they'll perform those things or help with the walking in those areas. So hopefully that answers your question, and then anybody else that can answer any kind of questions too, leave in the comments section below. Thank you.